dear students. So today I am going to explain you about diversity in the living world. So all of you know that there are different kinds of plants and animals they are found on earth. A varieties of the plants and the animals are there. If you take only plants, then you can see there are so many different types of the plants are there on the earth. Similarly, if you take the animal kingdom, then also you can find out there are so many different types of the animals are there. Land animals are different, they are having different features. Animals which are found in the water, they are also having different features. Animals which are found in the sea or in the river, again they are different from each other. So all the animals, all the plants which are growing in the different ecosystem, they are having different characteristic features, so that you can differentiate between different plants or different animals. So that is called biodiversity. Bio means biology. Biology is related to the life, and the diversity means a different group of the or different type of the plant and animals which are available on the earth. So that is called biodiversity. Alright. Now what is the meaning of nomenclature? Nomenclature means naming organisms. Because you know that if you want to give names to different plants or the different animals, then there will be millions of the plants and the animals, because altogether what is the total biodiversity? The total biodiversity, so that is 1.7 to 1.8 million. So those many number of the plant and the animals, you need to give a particular name. So all the plants and the animals, you know, they are having different local names. Like for example, you take India. India is a country which is having so many states, and all the states they are having their local language. For example, suppose you take mango. Now if you want to give the local names to mango, you can find out depending on the state there are different names for the mango, because in the different state different languages are called. Okay? But all over the world, if the biologists they want to study any particular plant or the animals, then they will not be able to know that particular plant or the animals by the local names. Because the local names, not only they are different in India, in different states, but if you go to other countries, you can find out they are also having different names, because the other countries they are having their local language. So that is the need of giving a particular biological name to any specific plant or animals, and that is called binomial nomenclature. Nomenclature means naming, and this nomenclature it is also based on some principles or the criteria or the rules, and that is followed by ICDN and ICZN. ICDN means International Code for Botanical Nomenclature and International Code for Geological Nomenclature. So the botanical nomenclature, so that is giving biological name to plants, and geological nomenclature is giving names to animals. Alright. Now what are the principles or what are the rules for binomial nomenclature? For example, suppose mango. Now the biological name for the mango is Mangifera indica. So the biological name, it consists of two words. Like as I told you, Mangifera indica. Mangifera is one word and the indica is another word. So each name it consists of two words. And the first word it denotes the genus, and the second word denotes the species. Mangifera, so that is a particular genus, and the indica, so that is a particular species. So each biological name it consists of two words. The first name it indicates about the genus to which the plant belongs, and the second word, so that is giving the information about species to which particular species the plant belongs. The biological name is having its origin in Latin language, and the Latin language, so that is a dead language, because in all the languages you can find out from time to time there is the improvisation is there, or something is added or something is deleted. But because the Latin language, so that is a dead language, you can find out there is no improvement. And this language, so it is having the fixed words. So the origin, so that is from the Latin, but when it is typed or written, then it is written in a slanting way. So that is, the language is the Italic. And suppose you are writing by handwritten, then both the words, so that is underlined separately. Like for example, here you see the Mangifera I have written, handwritten, so the Mangifera, so that is underlined, and the indica, so that is also underlined. So both the words they are underlined when we are writing in English, or we are writing by the handwritten, then both the words they are underlined. And the genus starts with a capital letter. Here you see I have written Mangifera, N starts with a capital letter. And where is the indica, which is the species? So here you see it starts with small letter. So these are all the basic principles on which the nomenclature is based. And suppose you want to write down the scientist who discovered, or the biologist or the taxonomist who discovered the plant or the animal name, then also you can write down the name. For example, here I have written Mangifera indica, Linnaeus. Now Linnaeus is the biologist who discovered the name of this plant, Mangifera indica. So this is all about the nomenclature, how we are giving specific biological name. So biologists all over the world, if they want to read any specific plant or the animals, because there are many journals are there. Now if the local names will be written, then they will not be able to identify which plant or which animal. So if the biological name is there, they can be able to identify. So now what is the meaning of identification and classification? Identification means to identify. And how to identify, because it is not possible to study altogether differently. Suppose you want to study individually one plants or one animals, then it is not possible. Humanly it is not possible, because there are millions of plants and animals are there on the earth. So if you want to identify, then how to identify? Depending on the basis of some character. Like for example, suppose you take the dog group. Now the dog, all the dogs, they are having some similarities, they are having some basic features, on the basis of which we can identify that this animal belongs to dog group. Okay, so the identification, that is first, that is only possible depending on the similarities or differences in morphological character. Then only we can classify the organisms in different groups, because there is a need to classify organisms in different groups. It is not possible to study separately all the plants or all the animals. So you have to make a particular group or the category. So that particular category, so that is called taxa, or similar you can call it as the taxon. So when we are putting in different groups, then the study is becoming easier. Otherwise the study will be very difficult for taxonomists. So to make the study easier, we are dividing the plants or animals in different category or the different groups, and that is called, altogether we call it as taxa. Now there are two branches, one is the taxonomy, another is the systematic. So what is the meaning of taxonomy and systematic? Taxonomy, so that is the branch of the biology which is dealing with identification, naming and classification. Whereas the systematic, so that is taxonomy plus evolution of plants and animals and relationship among them. Alright, so in the taxonomy, the biologists, they are identifying what is the basis for the identification of the plant and the animals, so that is some common characters. And then the particular biological name is given to them, and also we are dividing all plants or all animals in different category or the different groups, and that is the basis for classification. So in the branch of the biology which is called taxonomy, we are studying about how the plant and the animals, they are classified in different groups, how the biological name is given to specific plant and the animals, or on the basis of which character we are identifying the plants and the animals. So that branch is called taxonomy. Whereas in the systematic, so that is a new branch of taxonomy. Taxonomy, so that is the old branch of biology, whereas the systematic, so that is the new branch of biology. And in the systematic, we study about classification, nomenclature and the identification, and also we study about what are the relationship between the plant and the animals, or the different plant groups or the different animals group, and how the plant and the animals, they originated by the process which is called evolution. Because scientists, they want to know not only about the plant and the animals, but also what kind of the relationship these different group of the plants they are having, or this different group of the animals they are having. And also you know that when we classify the organisms, that is somehow it is related to the process which is called evolution. Because the evolution, so that is a continuous process which is going on in the nature, and over a period of the time you can find out the new plant is developing, originating, or the new animal is originating. So we cannot separate the process of evolution from taxonomy. So this is a new branch of the biology which is dealing not only with the taxonomy, the naming and the nomenclature, but also what kind of the relationship is there in different group. So that is called systematics. single step but involves hierarchy of steps called taxonomic hierarchy, and each category represents taxon. Alright. So in the process of the classification, what is happening? Now we are putting plants and the animals in different groups, and this is the way we are classifying, so that is called hierarchy. Because when the Linnaeus classified the plants and the animals, then he explained only about 5 different groups. But the later on the Carolus, now he explained all the different steps, all the different categories by which we are classifying the plants or animals. So each category is called taxon. For example, Mangifera, so that is a taxon. Indica, so that is a taxon. So these are all the different groups, and the different groups they are having, the group means a group of individuals. Like for Mangifera genus means, in the genus you can find out, now there are many species are there, and the species they are also categorized with the help of the common character, and the genus, so that is also categorized with the help of the common character. So that is called taxonomic categories, and one single category, so that is called taxon, and altogether we call it as taxa. So how to classify the plant or the animals into different groups? This is the way how we are classifying. For example, the first one, which is the highest order, so that is called kingdom. Either all the plants they are put together in the plant kingdom, or all the animals they are put together in the animal kingdom. So in the kingdom we can find out only there are 2 kingdoms, either plant kingdom or animal kingdom. Then the next lower group, so that is called phylum. So that means the plant kingdom is having many phylum. Similarly, the animal kingdom is also having many phylum, because in the class 9 also you have studied animal kingdom is having 10 different phylum. So the kingdom, so that is the highest order, then the next order, so that is phylum. So if there are 10 phylum are there, so that means 10 different groups are there, and each phylum we can find out they are having a specific character, and these characters they are different from the other phylum. Then each phylum is divided into many classes. For example, suppose there are 10 phylum are there, then all the 10 phylum they are having different classes. Maybe there are 100 classes are there for these 10 phylum. So the class, so that is the lowest order in comparison to the phylum. And again in the class also, how we are putting in the different class, so that is also on the basis of the similar character. Like for example, suppose you take the Solanum family. Then in the Solanum family, how the plants they are grouped together, because you can find out they are having some common characters. Then after the class, each class is divided into many orders, because there will be many classes. Then each class is divided into many orders. Now here in the order also you can find out how they are put in different category or in the different groups. That is also on the basis of the common character. Then each order is divided into many family. Each family is divided into many genus, and each genus is divided into many species. So the species, so that is the last one in the order of the classification, and the species, so that is called the basic classification, because this is the last one, and you can find out different species they are having some different characters. Like for example, in the mango you can find out the Mangifera is the genus, but this genus it may have, there are 10 different species of the mangoes are there, and all these 10 different species of the mango again they are having some different characters. So this is the way how we are classifying the plant and animal kingdom, starting from the kingdom, then the phylum, then class, then order, then family, genus and species.